dog, right? So my poor dog, I keep seeing, so I've been living in this, where I live for like 10, 15 years now, and I'm seeing all the neighbors' dogs getting old together. They're all about to die together. It's fucked up. I can't handle it. My dog's about to be 17 next year.
Oh boy, he's old.
How are you? Oh my God, I'm so excited. You are the first guest that I don't know very well that I just met like a couple of weeks ago. So the other guests I've known
Yeah.
them. So welcome. We have to handle with care.
Yep. All right. What do I
How are
do?
you doing? Where are you? Where in the world are you?
I'm from Brunei.
And tell the people who may not know where that is while I get some water.
Well, it's a small Islamic country on the Borneo Island. It's a peaceful country with low crime rates, lots of nature,
Really?
and
Because I'm all about
yeah.
nature now. I don't want to travel anymore to large cities. I just want to go to nature places. So you're saying I
Ah,
should come there?
yeah. I heard on the podcast you are into lots of nature.
Well, they allow dogs there because I couldn't go to Bali because of my dog.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of restriction about it because Islamic country and stuff like that. So they don't allow pets in general in public
Do they
places.
care about service pets?
No,
They don't
unfortunately,
give a
no.
damn, huh? They're like, nope,
Yep.
not happening. Same as Bali, right? That's why. Same kind of thing.
Yeah, I suppose so because a lot of Islamic country have a lot of like
Why do you
funny
think the
restrictions.
Islamic countries love cats but hate dogs?
But there's actually a growing number
I
of
mean, I'm stereotyping, right? I know a lot of people in my country have dogs. We love dogs, but as a
yeah.
culture, obviously I can't bring it to your country because it's
Um
like a thing. But does your country like cats?
yeah, lots of them have cats. I do realize, yeah.
And
But
then
yeah,
people do
I do
have
realize there
dogs.
are also a handful of people the Muslims are feeding strays now, the dogs especially. So
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, they do that in Iran too. We always, when
Yeah.
we get our leftovers, when I'm visiting there, and then we kind of go because the poor dogs get beaten by the people so much. It's so sad. It makes me very upset. But the suffering of
Yeah.
humanity all across the world with animals, people, whatever. But I'm an animal person, so yeah, they always feed the strays, and they go. The poor dogs stay into the mountains. The cats are all over the cities. They don't give a shit. The cats are
Oh,
like coming in your
okay.
face, and they're just like not scared of people, and the poor dogs are like shivering. It's so fucked.
All right.
So, oh, let me turn on a light. Let
No
us,
problem.
before I start ranting, tell us, or me,
Mhm.
why, I guess, kind of what surprised you when you watched the video, because I think what you reached out, and when you saw the Yes Theory podcast,
Yeah.
you reached out because you felt like you were heard somehow.
Yeah. I think I realized the trigger word to me was I don't know, I forgot who said it, but it's something along the line of like I do not deserve to be happy, and I just broke down. Like it never occurred to me that thoughts like this would actually affect me, but like it kind of just clicked and feels like oh shit, this I feel like it's actually happening, and I am not the best of moods during on that day. So yeah, so I just broke down, and a couple of hours later I went to my good friend, my business partner. I spoke to him about it, and he kind of talked me through and assured me there's like it's just my thoughts and stuff. Yeah.
So what were your thoughts that were What were you feeling? You were feeling overwhelmed?
With a lot of things on the business end, as a father, and also a lot of them is about my mother. When 7 years ago she passed away, so I beaten myself up a lot because of that. um One of the biggest regrets that I had was, the day she passed, I wasn't able to pick up the call from my brother. So
What was the call about to inform you that she had passed?
she's, yeah, at the edge, and by the time I picked up, I called back, she's already gone.
That's hard.
Yeah,
That's hard. And that's just one of those things that, is something that is a big trauma. The loss of a parent is one of the biggest traumas we ever go through.
yeah,
Um, and the only thing that really heals that is time. And obviously, I work with a lot of my university students, grad students, undergrad students who, when they lose a parent, of course, our relationships with our parents are always hard. They're lovely, they're hard, they're everything in between. So
yeah,
it's fucked up when people pass. We only tend to think about all the things we didn't do. Oh, I should have done this more, and I should have done that more, and you know. eh,
yeah.
But it's fucked up because we do the opposite in relationships. When we break up with somebody who was a bad relationship, we break up and we're like, oh my god, they were so good. Why does our brain fuck us like that? I'm sure you had good moments with your mom.
Yep, yep, lots of them.
So it helps to think about those when your brain has the tendency to want to, be like, oh, look at the ways you were a bad son. Don't do that to yourself because nobody's perfect. It's easy for our brain to fuck us that way and focus on the opposite of what we need to. Usually, I can now tell people wherever your brain wants to go to, it's probably unhealthy. So go the opposite way. And we all know what that is. But with something like grief, I mean, it was quite a long time ago. How often does it come up for you now?
uh from time to time, it comes. it a lot That's why a lot of times I avoid places that would remind me of her. And yeah, it
I
still
tell,
hurts. Yeah,
what were you going to say?
it still hurts. Yeah.
Of course, it's always going to hurt. But as you kind of allow the grief to happen and maybe do different things to commemorate her, there's different things we can do. You can write a letter, you can have an outing that's all about her, um,
Mhm.
and put some positive vibes around that. That time, maybe you pick a time around one of your holidays that you like, that she liked, and then you kind of make it a special thing, and then you keep that alive for your kids too. You make it a thing. you
Right.
know and Asian cultures, Muslim cultures, all cultures, we all have this kind of respect your elders. We all have this level of we want to take care of that. We want the memories to be good. There's so many things we can do, but obviously it's death. It hurts. We've all been through it. People lose people to so many things, illness. You're good. Take your time, do whatever you need, be comfortable, go
Yeah.
get water, get up and kick the ball. You're good.
Yeah.
um there's so many things we can do, and as you do it, and as you do it in a community sense, um do something with your family and with your loved ones, with your friends, you'll get better. It'll still hurt, but it'll get better, and it takes time.
Yeah. But that's one part that I struggle a lot is how communicating is one big part that I struggled a lot as well. And I don't get along that much with my dad. My brothers, I'm still alright, but of course they are elsewhere. They're in Malaysia, so we don't get to hang out that much.
Your
So the
dad
only
is
time we hang
there. Your
out
dad
is
is there with you. Your dad.
yeah, yeah. But
And
yeah,
that's
the only
always
time we get
hard.
to,
What did you say?
sorry,
Go ahead.
I'm saying like the only time we get to hang out like as all the family comes together is of course during like holidays. We get back to our the home country in Sabah, Malaysia. So yeah, we're doing that in December. So hopefully I could open up and talk to them about it.
And more importantly, open up and talk to yourself about it again. You know what I mean? And you and I can talk after off the air, and we can talk about some of the, if you want to maybe do some EMDR therapy. Have you had any therapy? What's up with therapy over there in the lands of
No,
Brunei?
no experience. I don't know who to go to.
But how is the culture receiving therapy these days?
Uh, well, I mean, the stigma is still there, and a lot of people don't know where to go to as well, and how to seek help. But there are talks about it about mental health, and it has been affecting the people, the younger people here,
What
because we
about
are more.
these influencers out here? A lot of my students tell me they
Yeah,
learn a lot from these videos. Do you guys do that?
yeah. I've been browsing a lot
Have you
on.
learned? Can you tell me something you've learned from the TikTok videos that are all mental
Oh no,
health related?
I don't I'm not that young, so I didn't go on TikTok.
Okay, Instagram. What are you on? What are you checking these on?
Instagram.
Okay, what have you learned
Yeah.
on Instagram from? I guess what's one thing that maybe was interesting that.
Well, I watched a lot of Yes Theory videos.
Shout out to Yes Theory.
Yeah, yeah. I watched every episode. Always looking forward for the next one, and well, gives me like hope that like even when people are down and there's maybe one day you meet like strangers that like today that could maybe help you get out of the rut, you know.
Yeah. Um, do you feel comfortable talking about what were there after she passed? Besides, so was one of the very kind of stressful things the fact that like you didn't get to say goodbye kind of thing? Was that kind of a
Yeah,
big, yeah? So I think that's a lot because obviously people don't die planningly most of the time.
yep,
Planningly is not a word, but I just made it up.
yeah.
So people
Well,
don't, and yeah.
the topic about death here is also like kind of taboo that like we don't really talk about it with our parents. And um she's a cancer patient, so it's a it has been going on for a while. No, she recovered.
What
She
kind of cancer?
well, she started from breast cancer, and then the cancer moved on to somewhere else, and
So when they
and
caught it, was it already too late? Or what, were they
yes,
treating it for a while? It was already like far gone. Did she get her? I mean, I don't know if you would know this answer, but did she get regular screenings?
yep, all the time. Yeah, but yeah, the last one was weird in a way. Like she just got out of one. They cleared her of cancer, but months later they found something again, and then another roller coaster ride. I mean, I felt it was hard for her.
How old was she when she got the cancer?
uh, when I was very young actually. When the first time she got cancer was when I was in high school.
How old are you?
I'm 35 now.
Okay, so a while ago. And then what happened?
Yep. She left alone to Malaysia to seek treatment alone. So of course I heard bits of the journey of how she get herself from my cousin's place to the hospital, and everything is like alone. So it felt like she was suffering alone.
Yeah. How come that's how it had to be for her to go? What were the circumstances?
Well, all of us are young. I'm the eldest in the family.
Oh, you're talking about when you were in high school,
Yeah,
the first time.
yeah. We were all still young, very young. So
But you know, in
uh,
those places, like if she was a mother, which she was, like what else was where she wouldn't have been okay with you guys being disrupted at all. And people, you know, it's a hospital, they take care of their patients. So she probably hopefully had good nurses and nice people, you know. And she wouldn't have it any other way. She wants to go get better and come back and, you know, continue to be a parent.
yeah.
But I know it's hard because
So
now that you're an adult, you're thinking back like, oh my God, all the way. Again, the brain likes to fuck you, you know?
yeah,
You're like, oh, she must have suffered, and oh, you're assuming all these things. She might have been very peaceful and very just like, you know, just like in a nice little haze and out. We don't know.
yeah, yeah.
In your mind, can you tell us a little bit about what your nightmare is telling you that might very well not be true?
Uh, I didn't do enough for her, you know. Like the last one was pretty hard. We were being asked to go to the hospital, talk to the doctors, and the doctors just told us that she didn't really have time. That
Because it was
was the,
that far gone by then.
yeah, and I don't know how to process that. And
How are you supposed to process that? Are you
yeah,
supposed to process that when someone tells you your mother's gonna die? How is one supposed to process that?
yeah, and the weird thing about this the culture here is that we don't talk about life
We don't
after.
talk about a lot of things in that
Yeah,
culture, in a lot of cultures, really.
yeah.
So I continue.
So I just feel like I was a bad child, you know. I could
Why?
have done
Why were you a
a
bad
lot.
child? What evidence do you have to tell me that you were a bad child? Please line your evidence to the court.
Uh,
Good, you don't have any. Next question. What's your next concern?
yeah.
Unless something comes to mind, take your time.
Nah, I
So
don't know. I'm
were
just
you a bad kid or not? I'm waiting still.
I I don't know. I think
I
I
think
was. Yeah,
what?
I think I'm a bad child.
Why? I need evidence.
Uh, One thing was the medical treatment was quite expensive.
When was this? When you were in high
There was
school?
the no the when I was already working, and there was the
This is 7 years ago. How many years ago?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So we t- we talked about it, and my mom just said like she didn't want to go for the treatment because it's expensive and stuff like that. I felt like I could do more, but of course financially I wasn't there because I just started work and stuff like that. So
But would treatment have helped, or would it have just made her weaker and worse off?
I wouldn't know. But there's just the here's the funny thing about like back then was like, oh, okay, to me it's like, oh, it's just another round of cancer for her because she's like won many battles and stuff like that. And like, oh,
How
she's
many
gonna
how many battles?
uh if I'm not mistaken, it was like 2 3 times. So to me it's like it probably is just gonna be another one, like she's gonna be fine. Like even up to the time when doctors tell us, she don't really have time. Like I could I maybe I was being ignorant. I could have spent a bit more time with her. Maybe she will feel, well, I've she will feel like I've taken care of her or something. I that was like all on my youngest brother. He actually like quit his job here. He went back and took care of her. Yeah.
So again, it sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like she did what she wanted to do, right? Like, how did you watch that video I posted about what Gabor Mate says, that little clip about what he says about women?
Not yet.
Okay, well, I'll send that to you later, but it's not just women, it's essentially certain personality types. It's with his book called When the Body Says No, and this notion where if we internalize all these feelings, especially in our cultures, Asian culture, Muslim culture, whatever culture, where everything is, like you said, you don't talk about death, we don't talk about this and that. And like,
Yep.
it's a very kind of covered conservative culture. So a lot of people can't really emote or express, and internalizing these things can turn into illness. And this is kind of what the new studies are pointing to when we kind of really break it down and look at the biopsychosocial aspect of it, which people never do when they're, doing, these pharmaceutical studies go very little into biopsychosocial, so let's not get off track. But so, okay, I have a question. Would you say, what percent grief would you say you have grieved, and what percent grief would you say you have left?
Well, I want it to end.
But has it gotten better over the past years, or it stayed the same?
Well, like the other day that I asked you about, like what are your thoughts about like the spiritual aspect of it, and
What are your thoughts?
I'm actually very new to this. Like I don't really like, even my mom is a Christian, my dad is a Buddhist, so like I've been to both sides. I don't feel anything. I don't. Yeah, I'm just there to pay respects, but like I
Oh my
don't.
God, I used to jokingly put on my old Facebook, I used to put Buddha Islamic because
Yeah.
I really like the Buddhist teachings, and I was born Muslim, but I was not
Yeah.
really practicing. So
Uh-huh.
I would put Buddha Islamic because I thought it was funny.
Yeah. So
But you're
yeah.
actually that. Oh no, you're a Christian, Buddha Christian for you.
Yeah. So yeah. So I went to church because of my mom, and gone through the whole shenanigan, but like sometimes I don't even know why I'm there.
At
I'm
church?
just, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, because church is a community, and if it's not a corrupt organization, it can be very good and helpful. And we like community. That's very powerful.
Well, as my personality is, I prefer to be in the corner, and get away
Why
from
is
me.
that?
I'm
Why do you prefer to be in the corner? What I hear you saying when you say that is that there was a time in your life where you didn't want to be seen. You needed to run away and
I
not be seen.
I was always like hiding behind my mom.
Why? What are you hiding from?
A lot of people, I'm a shy kid, right? So she
She
she's a
was
big
your
part of,
protector.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a mother's job.
Yeah. So yeah, it's hard also. I tried also right now because of my jobs. I have to go to social settings. I have to talk to people, but yeah, I don't really. It's tough for me to hold a conversation. Yeah, but
Are you talking
yeah,
about currently right now,
yeah,
even?
yeah, yeah.
So, okay, let's. So, what do you think is that? Are you talking about that in regards to grief or other anxieties?
Uh, Other anxieties, I suppose, but yeah, it's kind of relate, I guess.
So, you feel
So
like mom was kind of your protector. Now she's gone. You feel extra anxious in general, and now even more.
yeah, yeah.
So, what have you tried to do for that? Have you tried anything? Have you Googled anything? What has been your route in trying to kind of manage that?
Uh, I bottle them up.
Oh, good.
Anything.
Stuff that shit. Stuff that shit into prostate cancer. Boop.
Yeah, yeah. I
Bottle it up. So, okay, tell me a little bit about what you learned about having feelings as a child. Were you kind of taught to not have them? Like boys don't
Yep,
cry kind of thing? The typical cultural whatever the shit we teach our kids, right? Boys don't.
yep, yep.
Okay.
I
So
hate that.
no room for your feelings, no room for what would you say in your own words?
Um, well, the Chinese said, like, oh, the boys shouldn't cry, boys bleed and stuff like that. So like I hated that. Like we should.
Wait, did you say boys don't cry, they bleed?
Yep.
Well, I think everybody can do that or not do that. We can all cry and
Yeah.
bleed at the same time. Why does it have
Yeah.
to be one or the other? And this is one interesting thing that I always talk to my clients about, this notion that two things can exist. It doesn't always have to be this or that. And
Yep.
that I think fucks a lot of people into being confused, because when they have this other very natural feeling, but when they've been told do not ever go there, then they get, it's scary, it's confusing. They're like, oh, something's wrong with me because I want to cry right now. Like,
Yeah.
it's fucked up. I know. So
Yeah.
apologies on behalf of the fucked upness of humanity. I'd like to apologize.
Yeah.
We built
That's
this
why
shit.
that's why I'm trying to do what I can so that I can, be a better parent to my son.
How's that been? How old is he?
He's ten months old.
Oh, a cutie.
Yeah, I just learned to walk recently.
Yeah, so you really have to start getting to a place where you start really taking care of yourself. And, you and I will keep talking. I will try to help you best I can. Um, but did you say what have you tried? Have you tried anything?
Well, I tried.
Wait, hold on. I'm paranoid. Let me make sure we have sound. Part
Yeah, right.
two. Hold on 1 second. Pause. I might have to send you another link because sometimes when I exit it, so stand by.